Digging without knowing the approximate location of underground utilities can result in damage to gas, electric, communications, water, and sewer lines, which can all lead to bigger problems. Don't put the shovel into the ground before you make one simple call. There are millions of miles of buried utilities in the United States: water, electricity, and natural gas, all vital to everyday living. We rely on our utility companies to keep service running, but according to the nationwide hotline 811, an underground utility line is damaged every 6 minutes by someone who didn't call before digging. Because many utility lines are buried just a few inches below ground, you put yourself and others at risk anytime you dig without calling 811 first.
On average, we receive 2 calls a week for damaged lines. When we get a call for a damaged line, because of the potential damage flowing water can have, we treat these calls as a priority. This forces us to pull resources from our scheduled work to handle the situation. Given how the law is written, this requires us to call for our own locates and has a ripple effect with the other utilities when they have to answer to our call for emergency. It's our highest priority to work efficiently and safely, and we ask everyone to call 811 so they can finish their project without any delays.
Call Before You Dig is a free service that helps you locate and mark lines. Both homeowners and contractors are required by law to call 811 at least 2 days before digging. You should call ahead for any project that requires digging in the ground, whether it's to plant a tree, install irrigation, or build a fence. The process is simple. When you dial 811, you will be automatically routed to a call center in your area. An operator will ask you for basic information like where you plan to dig. The call center will then notify affected utility companies and send locators to the dig site. The crew will mark the approximate location of the buried lines with flags or paint. Each paint or flag color represents these utilities. The Las Vegas Valley Water District is one of the providers that respond to calls where water lines could be affected.
When the Las Vegas Valley Water District gets a call from USA North 811, we assign that to a supervisor. The supervisor generates a work order and work request for a facility locator to go out and investigate the area and mark the underground facilities. If there are no abnormal situations, the utilities will be marked within 48 hours. If there are circumstances where we cannot locate those facilities, then the locator will call the contractor or homeowner and request more time for the facilities to be marked.
Here are some helpful tips if you plan to dig anywhere on your property. Before calling 811, outline the project location with white paint or stakes. Your site must be completely outlined for utilities to mark their lines. Then call 811 between 6 a.m. and 7 p.m. You must give at least 48-hour notice. For the shortest wait time, call on Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday afternoons. At the end of your call, you will receive a ticket number that will be good for 28 days. Utilities will then mark the horizontal path of their underground lines at your site.
A person doesn't have to be on site when we come out to mark our lines. They just simply mark the area in white, put their name inside the mark in white area, and we will mark our lines up to the meter. Always keep the ticket with you for reference, and it also has a list of numbers that you can call in case there's an emergency and you need to get a hold of one of the utilities.
Calling 811 ahead of time could avoid major problems, including physical injury, utility service outages, and costly repairs. A contractor who doesn't call 811 first could face fines and repair costs if they hit a line and disrupt service. The bottom line, know what's below. Data shows that when you call 811 before digging, you have less than a 1% chance of striking a buried utility line.
If you do happen to damage a line, do not try to repair it yourself. Even a small scratch or dent can worsen over time and cause a failure. Call an expert and have them repair the line professionally.
Don't assume it's safe to dig in a spot that was previously marked. Erosion and root growth can alter the depth or location of buried lines, so you must call 811 before you dig, each and every time. For more information about 811, visit call811.com. Reporting for Waterways, I'm Jason Gifford.